Okay, this is video blog number 7, with Eric Yanelson. He works for the Ogilvy Foundation as president, I believe. Yeah, he went to Wabash as a bio major. He was going to go to law school, but he changed his mind, went into like AmeriCorps or like kind of like the Peace Corps, what we think of it as. That's how he got his start. And then he said one big thing I remember him saying was like, when I first got into like the nonprofit organizations, like I thought I was going to change the world. I think that was out of my mindset at first, and then he kind of brings you back down to reality a little bit. It's pretty cool. He worked at the Schrader Center, where I currently work there now. He was a director for a little while. He does a lot of things around the community. Like he works with Grow Ohio Valley and some other organizations helping them get. But his main focus is like he pretty much helps keep the Ogilvy like going strong, because he's responsible for the gifts and stuff that they get from like donators, like to the foundation. Like they he'll have to like he has to they say people come in, they'll say like, we want to donate $10,000 to like a specific thing, like he used the example of the rose bushes or whatever, and he'll try to make a smarter investment with them. But sometimes, like he said, like even asked him like, do you ever have to turn them down or whatever, and he's like, yeah, like they have to be turned down. The important thing about community education that we learned in this was how important the nonprofit is, and finding your resources, which every guest presenter we have, they kind of like fall right in line with each other, and each one of them adds another aspect of it. So it's really cool, like just the way that they fall in. Another thing he says, like what is the public good of organizations? Like what are they doing that can help you or your business, not business, but like your goal or whatever. And then the importance of needing grants and stuff. They only use like a small amount of grants compared to everything else, but they have a lot of business, like the lodging and the food and everything, and the golf courses and stuff. That brings in a lot of money for them too. Another thing that basically a lot of things. The biggest thing for me, what I really liked about it, was that I learned a lot about wheeling that I didn't know. Like, you know, the basic like Ogilvy story and Mr. Ogilvy or whatever, but we learned like so much more about like the stuff burning down, and then the buildings being replaced like at the park, and then them having to raise money like pretty much overnight to make sure that the park wasn't like the park wasn't like pretty much gone away with, because like he said before, it was like a kind of like a beer garden, which I didn't know that either. I thought that was really cool. And it's just really interesting to find out things that you didn't know. The good thing about the most important thing here about within community ed is this is like know about, especially depending on where you're going to be. Like I want to go back to Maryland eventually, so like know the history, and that was a good thing for him, because he can use that to pitch let's use this idea, let's spend the money that you're going to donate here or there, which is really interesting. Is not only, I mean, I don't know if anybody else picked this up, know about like what you're trying to do, but know about your community more, like history, even history, like now, future, you know, just get in the loop, and it'll help out a lot, because him knowing that probably made us pay a lot more attention than normal, which was really cool. I did like how he, like I said, used the history of wheeling to kind of like give us like a background of where he came from, and where the beginning of his foundation started, and then how his job has like affected that, which is really cool. And another important thing with the community ed thing was just, and like we've harped on it for the past like 2 or 3 guest presenters, is use your resources and use them wisely, just because, I mean, you never know when you're going to need somebody or how you're going to need somebody, so it's important to have them like as like a back pocket, like just in case you need them, you know. So yeah, that was Eric Yanelson, president of the Ogilvy Foundation.